Hello, good afternoon and welcome to my humble model railway, Bedstead Junction. Now, this afternoon I'm going to be fulfilling a request which was made by Kelly Ashford Trains. Now, Kelly Ashford Trains, she asked to see Hinton Manor, which is a Manor class locomotive, Great Western, putting 3 chocolate and cream coaches in a proper Great Western style. And that's one of the things we'll be seeing this afternoon, okay? And they say if you've got any requests, any of you want to see anything in particular, or got any questions you wish to ask, by all means put something in the comments. I try to look at all the comments which I get and reply to everybody who's made a comment. Now, without any further ado, we're going to get underway. Right, so quite shortly we'll be able to see the wonderful Hinton Manor getting underway. Effortless out of the station, of course. Oh, absolutely superb. Now this is the Dapol version. There is also a Cure scale version. And we'll just change the viewpoint ever so slightly. And we'll be able to see our locomotive whizzing around the track. Now I'm going to go onto our country station view. I'll just turn the camera around slightly so we can see that. And we should be able to see Hinton Manor flying through quite shortly. Now this afternoon I've decided to run Hinton Manor, which is in BR plain black, and also my standard class 4, which you've seen a couple of times already, I know, but I haven't had much of a chance to give it a good run since I actually repaired it. Now one of the things you might not see on here, because it's quite subtle, quite a subtle effect, is that this locomotive does come with a firebox glow. I can see that as it just comes around by me now. And you can imagine this locomotive maybe pulling something like the Cambrian Coast Express. Those railways in Wales were the kind of lines that the manors were built for. In fact, these were the lightest of the mixed traffic locomotives of the Great Western Railway. The coaches we're seeing, chocolate and cream, and they're BR Mark 1s. And I found those coaches difficult to get, so they didn't crop up very often. I've got a feeling they're available in the railroad range, but I don't know if you can get all 3 coaches. This is the composite coach, the buffet coach, and the break coach. You've got the real chocolate and creamy effect here. Now this locomotive, I will admit, I was going to film last night, but I did have a slight problem with the front bogey derailing. But that looks like it may have been something to do with the track itself rather than the locomotive. It was a good exercise though in taking it apart. If you ever try to take off the front bogey of one of these Dapol Manors, go very careful. Under the bogey there's a tiny little washer and a spring, and if you lose those, then you're going to be in a whole world of trouble. Okay, because I nearly lost the washer, and the washer turned out to be resting on my knee of all places. So I was lucky I managed to find it. Now I'll have a closer look at this locomotive in a moment. because there's certain features of it. I know I did a review of this particular locomotive. I actually chose this to be in plain black because I felt that some of the things which came with the Dapol model, it made those details absolutely pop. And one of the things is the very shiny safety valve cover on this locomotive, along with the nameplate, which is in red, which is quite correct, and the early crest. Any sort of details on this locomotive absolutely pops. Now, something which was quite kindly pointed out by Kelly of Kelly Ashford Chains is that yes, I did have a bit of a problem with my building over there. The roof had come loose. It's one of those things, it was a snap together building, and it decided to snap together. What I've done now is I've just held that on with a little drop of super glue, so that roof on my country station over there is actually now sited correctly, and also the chimneys, they're straighter than what they were, let's just say. We'll have a little look at that station in a moment, because it's got a good view really of the locomotive actually going through the station itself. Right, now, this is something which would not have been possible on my previous, my bigger camera, my M50. This is the Canon V10, and it comes on a little kickstand which goes under the thing. If I've looked at some reviews, this is perfect for actually placing the camera right by the line side, so you can see. So I'm in a bit of a shadow there. You can see the actual line sight now. You see the actual station itself and see some of the details on that station just while the train is actually going through it. And I hope you're enjoying this running session as much as I am. It's Saturday afternoon, August the 10th, 2024, and it's about 4:15 in the afternoon. Really, really, really nice. And I hope you agree. I think I've got a much better and more flexible way of actually viewing my locomotives now on the layout. I'm going to use the other camera on the tripod to give it an overhead view, as I used to do. But you can get, I think with these line side views, they've got quite a lot of impact to them. Now, the actual station you can see in front of you is a Hornby station, and it comes with everything's kind of stick on, so you've got a choice of the finish. I think it's either a brick or a stone finish for the walls, and the trolley and some of the accessories came with it. The seat I think was I've got extra, and the figures on there. I've got a guard blowing his whistle and waving his flag, and I also added, I think that's a chocolate machine in red, I added on there as well. So that's so even though it's a Hornby station, you can actually add things to it to add interest. And this is a view of the locomotive coming round past the signal on the signal box. Now, some of the more observant of you will notice that the set of steps is missing from the upper floor leading down to the lower floor. I have no idea where that went. I have searched high and low, so we're probably having to make some steps leading up. I think we'll have to imagine that the actual steps in this single box are internal. Bit of artistic license there. I'd say I have no idea where those steps went. This is a view you don't normally see of a locomotive going round. And this is the view of the locomotive just speeding through the level crossing. Now, there's also a liqueur scale version of this locomotive available. Now, I have actually reviewed both locomotives, and if you look back through my video archive, you'll see those reviews. Putting the two side by side, I would say that if you compare the Dapol and the liqueur scale, it always was an honourable draw. There are things which the liqueur scale model has, and there are things which the Dapol model has. The Dapol model came out first. One of the innovations which this one had, well, it's got two real big innovations really, and major advantages over the liqueur scale version. As beautiful as the liqueur scale version is, you can open up the smoke box door, and there's a compartment in there to take a DCC decoder, and also the actual tender and the locomotive actually snap together. They're snap bits, so easy to detach from each other, and that's important, especially if you wish to add figures onto the locomotive footplate. And it does make working on the locomotive much easier if you can separate the locomotive and the tender. Now, the actual liqueur scale one has got a plug design similar to what Hornby has, and also I believe the decoders in the tender. So, but the liqueur scale model does, I say, have some other things. We'll look at the liqueur scale model another time, and perhaps we'll do another side-by-side comparison. Now, as you can see, this locomotive runs as smooth as silk, absolutely superb. So the Manor classes were built for a particular axle weight. It was for the load limits of various parts of the railway, and some of the areas, certainly in Wales and some of the West Country, did require lighter engines. And that's all to do with the infrastructure. Not just the actual track, but bridges and other structures too. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring this locomotive into the station, and you can see what a graceful entrance it can make into the station. I'm going to stop it up at the signal box up there. I've overshot the signal box ever so slightly. That's my clumsiness. Okay, and that's Hinton Manor coming into the station. Very, very, very good control on this locomotive. Okay, there's a chat to see the magnificent Manor class in the station. And you can see a couple of things on there. I mean, one would be the beautiful polished cover, red nameplate and the crest, and it's in unlined black, and I think those details absolutely pop when it's like that. I'm glad I went for that one. The reason why I bought Hinton Manor was because I thought it might be one of the ones that all the others might not have gone for. I thought probably people would have gone for the lined green ones first. I thought I'd give one of these a try, and I'm really glad I got this particular colour scheme. Right, now the next locomotive we're going to see then, going out to the station, taking advantage of my new camera angles. This is a standard class 4. Now I know you've seen this one a couple of times, but really I'm so happy that I managed to get this one sorted out. That I'm going to give it another run. Okay, I just want to give it a quick test over the points. So I can do that for you now. Now the train you can see going around at the moment is a BR Standard Class 4 locomotive by Hornby, and it's the one I repaired by fitting the replacement cog. And I believe it was Robert Moore, I believe, who raised a query on this. You cannot get the actual replacement gear set for these at the moment, and so you have to. I managed to adapt one from a Hornby Star Class gear set, which enables the locomotive to at least run. I'm hoping that anybody who's watching this has got a similar problem, have been able to get theirs sorted as well. The problem you get with these locomotives, and bear in mind this one's 14 years old now, is that you occasionally get split gear cogs. And as you see, it's running perfectly smoothly now with its replacement gear set. Now, I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you like what you see, please press that like button and subscribe, and ring that bell symbol to be made aware of future content. And I hope Kenny of Kenny Ashford Trains, I hope you've enjoyed watching the running session with the beautiful Dapol Hinton Manor. And on that note, I to wish you farewell and bye bye for now.